You know how it is. Just another day admiring the arts. Oh, what the heck? Last year I talked about Smiley, a movie starring Shane Dawson, Tobuscus, and this guy. I ended that video saying Smosh the movie is next, and you know what? Yeah, let's do it. I'm not popping my airplane mode cherry yet. I don't fucking goddamn.
Yeah, man, #Agacon. Everyone's gonna be there.
Smosh the movie is what people think of when they think about YouTuber movies, especially when it's bad YouTuber movies, which is most of them.
And then you froze!
But it's very different from a lot of these movies because it doesn't seem like much from the surface. Like, instead of this big, huge thing, oh my god, YouTubers are on the big screen, it felt like, oh, this is just another way to grow the Smosh brand, and that's pretty much it. Like, its effects weren't immediately felt, but I think it represents the death of the Smosh empire, with Anthony leaving only a few years later, and like a phoenix, the channel was reborn to make like 3,000 every blink ever videos.
So, could I get a McChicken instead of this fillet of fish?
Of course. There you go. Now it's chicken.
I don't have to have a whole spiel about what Smosh is. I only did that with Shane Dawson because Shane Dawson is a fucking lunatic, and you don't see that every day like Ian Heacock. Smosh was a skit channel ran by Ian and Anthony, then it wasn't, then it was, then they just stopped making skits again for some reason. All of that is common knowledge, but I do kind of want to talk about how strange the era for Smosh was around when this movie came out. This was far after teleporting fat guy era, and right on the edge of dad and mom need to talk to you for a bit era. Smosh was owned by Defy Media, which was basically the crown jewel of the company. It was that and fucking Warp Zone, so yeah.
That's why the people of this world believe in.
Defy let Ian and Anthony branch out into new territories they could never reach themselves, but also the downside is that I'm referring to Smosh babies. Some people grew up with Smosh babies the same way they grew up with cancer. Some people grew up with Smosh babies and defend it, and it's gonna be the same thing when those kids grow up who watch like fucking Pomni porn becoming uncanny Mr. Incredible videos.
The traumatized Mr. Incredible meme depicts a normal looking Mr. Incredible next to a haunting, uncanny version of him.
I know it's making fun of the idea of this trope, but it just boils down to what if YouTubers were babies and they said fuck, like Ryan Higa, the Fine Bros for some reason, and Shane Dawson, if he didn't love himself enough, now he's a child. Shut Up Cartoons was just throwing everything at the wall. Teleporting fat guy was turned into a cartoon, but you can tell this wasn't from passion. Just Ian and Anthony had nothing to do with this character because he's a teleporting fat guy. There's not that much you can do with it. But then when Defy gets their hands on it, they act like it's a fucking masterpiece, and this needs 30 episodes, and it needs to look like fucking big mouth eye ready.
Wait, there's gotta be something I can do to get him back.
Well, there is one thing.
I really hope Glitch decides to pick this up for a full series. The pilot was really good.
You can tell they don't give a fuck about Shut Up Cartoons when they really don't reminisce about it whatsoever anymore. They just kind of recall giving suggestions and then Defy not doing them.
Because the Teleporting Fat Guy series was like, we were like involved, but we weren't like overseeing every aspect. And I remember like we reached out and then like I didn't really hear that much about it.
One of the most interesting and popular shows that came from this was Oishi High School Battle, which was this weird live action 2D animation hybrid where the whole joke was that this highly sexualized anime girl was just in the real world.
I don't know why, but I'm crazy attracted to her.
My locker won't open. Battle breast engage!
Okay, this is still some bullshit, but at least it's impressive how much higher the budget is, at least for the live action segments, but it's not exactly Roger Rabbit level. All of the episodes were deleted off the channel because they were supposed to be moved to a different channel along with a sequel series, which was canceled because the channel they were gonna go to shut down. Then Smosh tried to ask Defy if they could move them, but then Defy also shut down and shat its pants and died. They also released Food Battle the game, which really wasn't bad all things considered. It was a pretty decent mobile game with a nice art style that actually used the side characters, unlike the movie called fucking Smosh the Movie. It is absolutely ridiculous though that they wanted $2,500,000 to develop this. And what's even worse was the video they decided to announce this game in the description of. I'm not fucking joking. It was under this video.
It's the same
thing is the word gay. Everyone's like, oh, that's so gay, or don't be so gay, and it's really starting to piss me off. Oh, you stupid gay retarded cat.
And they got the money too, so something obviously worked.
And there was no idea for that game. They were just like, put your face and reputation on the line, beg people for money for a game that has no concept whatsoever, and we'll just figure it out later. Let's just see how much we could raise. I made $0 from that. I don't know what the company did with that money. Why did they take that money in the first place?
I'm mentioning all of this to basically say Smosh was doing way too much. Like, the second you're on Teleporting Fat Guy episode 14, you need to think about who you're hurting. But instead, they just kept going and going, and that culminated into Smosh the movie. Something that felt like it represented Defy a lot more than it represented Smosh. Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Not again!
Coming up, looking out, I'll survive and no doubt.
The movie began production in 2014, being written by Steve Marmel and Scott Falconer. And here's our first problem. That's a really weird way to spell Ian and Anthony. Smosh, which was a series primarily written and developed by these two people, was now going to get a movie adaptation where it was being written by a How I Met Your Mother writer. And yes, I'm holding Ian Hecox, the writer of Paranormal Easy Bake Oven, at a higher standard.
I look like Michael freaking Jackson!
To be fair, this was not exactly the golden era of Smosh. You can tell when Anthony's hair was like, whoop, it's not gonna be as good. But still, having almost no creative control is insane. At least something like AVGN the movie was written by James Rolfe, and it was just born like that.
We didn't have like true control. We could give notes and stuff, but we didn't have like absolute control.
They were able to give notes and some input as executive producers, but also I get the vibe that they were just yesing everything because it sounded good enough. Just because they were presented with an idea they said yes to doesn't make it their idea, and it overall just doesn't make the movie feel like Smosh. It just sounds like they were along for the ride instead of having any actual active role.
There's some room for improv on set, but it mostly stuck to the script.
I also have this grand conspiracy that I think explains why this movie is like this that I've seen nobody mention. The director is Alex Winter. You know, Bill of Bill and Ted fame. Ted being Keanu Reeves.
Chicken nuggies are good.
What does that have to do with anything? Well, Alex Winter fancied himself a director after his initial success, and I think he was trying to use this movie as some kind of vehicle to propel himself forward because he's now directing a movie also starring a famous comedic duo. I think he saw this as a passing of the torch, but it's not beautiful like that. It's more like passing a single cigarette in a Walgreens parking lot. I get the feeling that he doesn't actually care about Smosh, and he just thinks it's what Bill and Ted was, the kids in the 90s, but for kids in the 2010s. And to be fair, yeah, he's right about that, but also it doesn't mean you should touch my Anthony.
When you were younger, do you think you're more like Ian or Anthony?
I don't know. It's a tough question. I was kind of like a combination of both of them, depending on what mood I was in.
What does that mean? Like, what alignment is Ian Hecox? Why are you referring to them as moods?
What's your favorite of theirs?
I don't know. I like a lot of their stuff, and I like the differences, and you know, I like the fact that they can go from really physical stuff to stuff that's more somber or personal.
I guess you could make the argument Smosh is some physical humor, but it's not really a focus. It's definitely not known for its somber videos. What the fuck are you talking about, Winter? Well, at least for the time, there was no somber videos. That was before Anthony started interviewing kidnapping survivors, strippers, and Nux Taku. Actually, you know, okay, fuck the cheap, like, Nux Taku joke I was about to do real quick. This is the thumbnail for the strippers video. I'm just surprised this is what they went with. I thought it'd be a little more elegant, and I just didn't expect to have Anthony gripping a fistful of fucking money, but I mean, yeah, the Nux Taku video is very funny.
You are in person for the first time ever. You've never been on camera before.
The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk. We gotta stand up and fight for God.
Smosh the movie starts with this little animation, and oy fucking vey, Jesus Hecox. Okay, not even mentioning Shane Dawson. It looks like they forgot to make this the day before the movie premiered, so they were like, fuck it, call Fun Video TV. We gotta get this shit done. These models were used for a shut-up cartoon called Super Smosh that premiered one day after the movie, which makes me think they already had the models ready for this and also decided this was a great way to test the audience. If you immediately walked out of the theater after seeing this shit, you're a fake Smosh fan.
Go kill yourself!
I like how Super Smosh actually looks slightly better than this opening animation. And is that the fucking Fine Bros? That's the second shot of the entire film. Why are the Fine Bros the first things you're showing me?
So if someone was your friend and they turned out to be gay, would you still be their friend?
No.
In this movie, Anthony works as a pizza delivery boy, while Ian just like, I don't know, he like jerks off while watching YouTube videos like Shane Dawson. That's kind of a big problem with the movie. They aren't playing themselves from the Smosh videos. They're playing a new fictional version of themselves that feels disconnected from the videos. It's like when Jim Henson is playing Kermit the Frog while Kermit the Frog is playing Bob Marley. It's exactly like a Muppet movie, except Ian and Anthony were actually the lifeless puppets. I've seen people say this feels like a Smosh video stretched out to be feature length, and in some ways I can see that, but also not really. These aren't the same Ian and Anthony that's presented in videos. They don't even use the same house, and none of the side characters are here either. There's no reoccurring actor cameos except for a couple of the Smosh Games cast, I guess. Where's teleporting fat guy? There's no fucking Stevie in the Smosh movie. What the fuck?
Oh, Mr. Featherface, I love you.
And they recast Ian's mom with an actual actor who I can't tell if she's somehow a worse actor or if it being Ian's mom was just way more endearing in every way possible. Either way, I don't like it. And Ian also has a dad, and it looks like a weird porn parody. I don't like it. Most of this movie just looks like weird porn.
You thought there was a portal under my desk, and you saw my wiener.
The only really big actual Smosh reference is the Pokemon parody in the movie.
Magic Pocket Slave Monsters.
Look, it's Pokemon. Like when they sang the song and they made Pokemon videos. Remember Pokemon? This is kind of the main conflict of the movie. Anthony now has this embarrassing video of him in high school singing the Magic Pocket Slave Monsters theme, and he needs to get rid of it because his crush will see it. Also, Ian is just kind of there. Honestly, I think they really waste the dynamic between Ian and Anthony. Ian was always portrayed in videos as extremely immature, and he still is in the movie, but Anthony can also get to that same level of immaturity, and that's not really shown in the movie. Like, this movie isn't really what their dynamic has ever been like. I know I'm hyper analyzing the difference between Anthony Padilla in videos versus this movie, but also, if Smosh fans didn't even like the movie, then there's gotta be a reason why. A bunch of kids shit on Anthony's pizza car.
Yeah, get out of here, punks.
Why even show the windshield if there's nothing actually on there? Alex Winter, just zoom in the shot, come on! Ian and Anthony decide to go to YouTube headquarters themselves to get the video taken down, and that's when we meet the best character in the film.
Hi, Steve YouTube.
That's Steve YouTube. I feel like I should point out that Steve YouTube's actor was also that like conservative news host in Superman.
He's grooming us.
The bulk of this movie is just Ian and Anthony going through YouTube videos, which makes it feel less like they wanted to make Smosh the movie and instead wanted to make YouTube the movie, which is probably accurate. It's not like official. They did change the YouTube logo in the movie, but it's not like in any other pieces of media like this where they have to change it to ShitTube or whatever the fuck. Smosh was YouTube's golden boys, and the company could still be a little edgy, so it's clear they completely welcomed this movie. They even premiered it at VidCon that year.
We haven't seen the one with the cherry put on top yet.
Seen this version yet.
We've seen one without the cherry on top.
This is the cherry.
Yeah, this is the cherry. There's some extra sound effects in it.
I don't think it was technically a brand deal, but the whole movie feels like one big YouTube promotion. Like instead of a Smosh video being stretched, it feels like they're stretching out YouTube Rewind.
It doesn't feel real. It feels like they're being paid. They might be being paid to do this. I don't know.
This movie doesn't feel like it was written by people that were YouTubers, or at least people that understood YouTube. So all the YouTube videos featured in the movie feel like weird knockoff versions of random viral videos that were outdated when the movie came out. Like there's a Let's Play video bit, David after the dentist reference, I think, and Gangnam Style.
Waiting for them to play Gangnam Style.
But there's other random shit in here, like, does Alex Winter just watch bear encounters all day? Why is this here? Look, it's furries because furries are weird. I already put that in the movie.
Some calling them scary or sexual or even disgusting.
I really feel like when any production needs to show furries, but they can't cast any actual furries or afford fursuits, they just like get a bunch of cheap Amazon mascot costumes, like FNAF the musical Matt Pat type shit. There's of course a couple actual YouTuber cameos like Jenna Marbles, Epic Mealtime Guy, Markiplier.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Gorilla Chainsaw Massacre.
Why was I shit talking this movie? This is amazing.
Die, puny humans, die!
You know, this is Mark's introduction to the world of filmmaking. This could have planted the seed in his head for Iron Lung. I'm just saying. Gorilla Chainsaw Massacre is like the same level of psychological horror. Epic Mealtime Guy just plays the mailman instead of himself, and he might be the only actor trying his hardest.
From now on, you get your mail at the post office.
There's this moment where he starts punching Ian, and I feel so bad for him. He's like bleeding and shit. Oh my god, Ian, stop! He didn't deserve it!
Please, what the fuck is wrong with all of us?
When they meet Jenna Marbles, it just makes me question, what is the YouTube dimension and how does it work? Jenna responds to them like she is alive. What kind of life does she live? Is she in a constant loop of reliving this moment inside the video? Later on, Anthony restarts a video and it completely erases a woman's entire memory of Ian. You can just erase these people's minds when you restart or leave a video. That's probably why they haven't fought back. They don't know this is it. They have no future, no past. They can only live in the present.
So you're telling me every time I watch a YouTube video, I just killed and birthed a new person in their place? When I watch Peanut Butter Gamer, is this a new type of slavery? Fuck Iron Lung, this is some real scary shit.
Also, yeah, Ian's subplot in this movie is that he's obsessed with a girl he only calls Butt Massage Girl because she's in a video getting a butt massage. That's kind of it. He doesn't really have much to do. Stop it! Get off of him! Stone Cold Steve Austin is in this movie at very random sections to kind of give Anthony advice, but it's not really built up to. It just kind of happens whenever.
What would you do if you were me? Well, I'll tell you exactly what I'd do. I'd hit her with a Stone Cold Stunner.
I think they just wanted a big celebrity in the movie, so they just kind of stole the John Cena bit from Fred the movie, but without any of the charm, because it's clear Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't actually want to do anything, so he's just on a shitty green screen.
I did the flip. He did the flip. He did the flip.
Look at this fucking green screen, dude. Why does it look so bad? Smosh videos have better green screen than this. The movie has $1 million budget and somehow normal Smosh videos just look better. How is that possible? Like, genuinely, the lighting and cinematography is better in the videos. How the fuck does If Video Games Were Real 3 look better than this movie in almost every way? Famous YouTuber Shane Dawson was actually going to have a cameo in the movie, and it wasn't removed for the reasons you would think.
If the sex machine is like a fleshlight, which is that fake pussy.
Okay, this isn't even in the YouTube universe. This scene takes place in the arcade they go to where the kid shits on Anthony's car. I can believe sex simulator, that's fine, but what I don't believe is that Ian didn't recognize Shane Dawson. I'd recognize this motherfucker in a police sketch if I had to. Wait, Ian, you were just watching a video by him. This is all you do in the movie. You watch YouTube. That's your whole character. You didn't even recognize him? You didn't recognize Shane Dawson as sex simulator? Why are they not YouTubers themselves in this movie anyway? This is so weird. They're interacting with creators they probably inspired in some way. Like, oh my god, Jenna Marbles, motherfucker, you are Smosh. You were the most subscribed to channel at some point. It's like if they made a Beatles movie and Paul McCartney was like, oh fuck, it's Nirvana. Like, these are the top dogs. Why are they treated like this? And why do I give a shit? Where's Tobuscus? Why isn't he in the movie?
Tobuscus?
A lot of scenes actually got deleted because they were going for a PG-13 rating, and on one hand, I kind of wish a lot of this stayed because I think a well-placed swear can elevate a scene.
Alright, I'm just gonna get my VR suit. Oh shit.
But also, there's so many unfunny scenes that they were gonna have go on for way longer, like this microphone ass joke is already in the movie so many times, but they just keep mentioning it in the deleted scenes.
Trash together for Anthony! Padildo!
Use my code Padildo45.
At this point, something big is revealed. Ian was actually the one who recorded Anthony's embarrassing performance. Oh no!
How could you, man?
It was like kind of a third act breakup moment, but they kind of just immediately get over it. Like, this plot is genuinely done better in Homeless Millionaire.
Then get out!
This is the best scene in the entire movie right here. Steve YouTube reveals he's been watching them this entire time with the plan to trap them into YouTube so they can actually be Smosh and Smosh the movie, I guess. So he just puts on his MCU-ified lab rat's ass VR suit and he starts chasing them through the YouTube videos, but instead of actually showing up, shit like this happens.
You boys can't escape Steve YouTube.
I'm telling you, Iron Lung ain't shit compared to this. You're getting beat by Smosh the movie, unreleased the film. Stop the popcorn bucket.
Can I just say, I went to watch Iron Lung and I liked it. It wasn't perfect or anything, but it was good. But someone fell asleep halfway through the movie and started fucking snoring throughout the entire rest of it. And someone else then, their Discord ringtone started going off. It wasn't silenced. How much of a Discord fuck do you have to be? Okay, I'm sorry.
Shut the fuck up! Why was this video in your viewing history?
And maybe one day, I'll be the one to massage that booty.
I'd like that very much, Ian.
This took deepfake technology to the next level. Rest of the movie cost $1,000. This scene right here, $9,000. It reminds me of when Corridor Digital says they made the best deepfakes ever, and they fixed the Luke Skywalker Mandalorian scene, but it just looks worse. Steve YouTube decides to just go in himself just as Ian and Anthony enter the bear attack video, and exactly what you think is gonna happen happens. But I need to know why is Steve green screened into the woods? It's so obvious too. It looks like that one fucking Fan 4 stick scene.
Wait, what happened to me?
You know, it's really amazing how they made a movie where the main villain scenes were filmed in like a day, all in the same room, except for the ending where he's in a different location for like 5 seconds. I didn't edit that. That's in the movie.
The means of production have never been simpler and cheaper.
At this point, they get birthed from the YouTube hole. They change the past, so I guess the YouTube dimension also affects the main timeline. This man will never be the same. Ian gets butt massage girl, and Anthony gets...
You don't have a girlfriend.
I don't?
You have like 30.
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 girlfriends.
But Anthony doesn't want 30 girlfriends. He wants his high school crush. Whatever the fuck her name was.
Wait, that means Anna's here too, right? Anna, where are you?
Who's Anna?
My girlfriend, Anna Reed.
Andy Reed? What? The romance of this movie doesn't work at all, and it should have focused on the bromance. Like, nobody gives a shit that Anthony is singing about owning slave monsters to impress his crush. I want to see more Ian. They should have went the route Dumb and Dumber took, where they're just trying to fuck, but it's not focused on that. It's just a setting for the main duo's comedy. I feel like this might actually be due to Alex Winter and influence from Bill and Ted, where the writers were so afraid the audience would interpret Bill and Ted as gay that they just gave them both girlfriends that don't do anything. It's the year of our Lord 2015. I don't give a fuck. Give me Ian and Anthony bromance.
What are you doing?
Looking at gay porn.
It doesn't help that the ending of the movie is just dragged on for so long. The second they show Steve YouTube as the pizza delivery boy now, and he shows his dick, and there's clearly pubes on the pizza, bam, cut the movie. I've seen it all. I've lived a good life. But it just keeps going. And it keeps going to service the aspect of the movie nobody actually likes. I mean, they do in the movie dancing together. That's the bromance I'm looking for, I guess. But then the movie ends with a really poorly aged trans joke.
Hi, I'm Anna.
Nice to meet you. My name's Brad.
What the fuck?
This is just how the movie ends. That's the joke they wanted to end on, okay.
I have a raging boner right now.
Me too.
Never mind, they saved it with that. That's just beautiful, man. That's true love. I take everything back.
I'd like that very much, Ian.
I'm not trying to say Smosh was like the pinnacle of all comedic writing, but this is a movie called Smosh the Movie that's missing most of the charm of Smosh. Which, to be fair, this era of Smosh wasn't exactly the best either.
There was a lot of things that Defy Media allowed us to do and enabled us to do, and I thank them for that. They weren't the best, and they failed. And
it's just really interesting how Smosh the Movie was just so nothing that it's not really thought about anymore, even just in the wider history of Smosh. It's just seen as a blip. Just another project Defy pushed out that Ian and Anthony were cast in but felt like they had almost no influence over. I don't think anything proves my point more than just the fact that there's another Smosh movie and actually nobody talks about this one. This movie was so forgettable that Ian didn't remember what character he was in his own fucking movie.
Who was the ghost in the Smosh movie?
I think he died in
that was Anthony.
Okay, rest in peace, Anthony.
Wait, Ghostmates, bro.
Wait, you were the ghost? You don't even remember the script to your own fucking movie?
There's just not that much to say about Ghostmates. I mean, it is a way better movie and actually has a couple of funny jokes.
Is that ketchup? Is that freaking ketchup? Here, take your tablets. I don't care anymore. Please just let me go.
But it's not nearly as interesting, so Smosh the movie somehow wraps back around to being more entertaining. Again, it just felt like another thing that happened. Also, T-Pain is in it, and he's in all the marketing, but he's barely in the movie. The way they market T-Pain in this movie would be like if they put Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Smosh movie poster in between Ian and Anthony. Whatever, Ghostmates is fine, but it's just kind of there.
You can hear me? I'm black.
Ian is black. Ian is black. Ian is black.
I can't believe he's black.
Around this time, Ian and Anthony were showing up in a bunch of animated movies, and I really like this era because people were treating them like Key and Peele or some shit. Most famously, the Angry Birds movie, of course. They played Bubbles and Hal, which are pretty big characters. Like, they're not usually part of the main Angry Birds cast, but they're still really iconic. I'm probably going to talk about the Angry Birds movies at some point, but I love Ian Heacock's Bubbles. He's so cute. Look at him. I want that.
I'd like that very much, Ian.
For some reason, when they did Angry Birds movie 2, they brought back Anthony as Hal, but not Ian as Bubbles. This was after Anthony left, but both still don't know why they didn't at least contact Ian.
You told Angry Birds you wouldn't do...
I said, is Ian going to be on this one?
Right, yeah. And they said, yes, and you said, I won't do it.
I said, I won't do it if Ian's in it.
And then so they said, Ian's not in it.
I don't know what they did after that.
Yeah.
But all I know is that you weren't.
Bro, I'm going to say you're capping.
They announced Angry Birds movie 3 recently, which, first off, you should probably have a successful game again before you guys make another movie. Like, I'm so surprised this was even put into production.
Oh, mommy. Smash.
Second off, both Ian and Anthony are back. Oh, fuck yes. I'll be there day one. Okay, for some reason, they were in this movie called Arctic Adventure on Frozen Pond. This, like, horrible, disgusting, satanic, anti-god frog movie.
Featuring Anthony Padilla and Ian Heacock, the creators of Smosh.
One hike, it'll end us all. Wrong, it'll end you.
There's honestly not that much to say. It's just funny to hear them in this. It was originally a Chinese movie, so most of the lip sync just doesn't match the audio.
That crystal frog, I'll become the most powerful frog in the kingdom. Bow before me!
Absolutely horrendous, disgusting, mean, fucked up amphibian film. Bobby the Hedgehog. They were in a movie called Bobby the Hedgehog.
I'm a hedgehog. My best friend is a giant bird.
This is the end of the conversation. I think Smosh the movie is important to the history of Smosh because it's this movie and this entire era is what I think ultimately led to Anthony saying, hey, I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here. He saw the opening animation and that's the second he knew he had to get out of there. Anthony, you need to run! Without Anthony, that led to Ian having to rely on the rest of the Smosh cast, and that probably honestly saved the channel. Like, yeah, I'm sure Smosh would still be trucking along, but it would slowly lose steam. Making it an ensemble gave it longevity it didn't have. Whether you like their modern content or not, it's gonna perform better than skits do. Because they tried to bring Ian and Anthony's skits back and it worked. I think they were good, but they clearly weren't as sustainable as they were back then.
President of the United States!
Ooh.
Mr. President, what should we do about the housing crisis? Hello? It's not doing anything.
They're a business, so it makes sense, but I'm still a little sad they just stopped doing the classic skits again after a year, especially right when they were starting to incorporate the rest of the cast organically. Instead, they started doing a show called Spud Hut or some shit, and I didn't really like it. I don't hate modern Smosh, the cast can be really funny, but they just clearly have no idea what to do with the main channel, and it's kind of sad. I understand why we can't have old Smosh, but that doesn't stop me from missing old Smosh. Bring back the fire. Bring back the fire. Bring back the fire.
Die, puny humans, die!